creative parents, today I have a doozy for you. We are going to do a decoupage vase. And it looks very difficult. I assure you it really is not. It just looks complicated. All right, so it's fun for kids, and there will be parts that parents will need to help with. So basically what I'm going to show you how to do today is to actually put your shape together, which I know it looks like it should be hard, it's really not. And then I am going to get you started with the actual decoupaging the way I do it, because I think the way I do it adds to the sturdiness of it. So I was just going to explain my process to you and get you going. All right, so the things you're going to need are some tape. I'm using painter's tape. There's other tapes you can use, but some good tape that will keep things down. Scissors. I'm using a sponge brush. You can actually use a similar size, just brush as well. And decoupage glue, or you can also use school glue. Just thin it with water. And I'm going to show you over here. This is filled with water and slivers of newspaper, which you will also need to keep yourself filled with. So let's go ahead. You're going to need a balloon, and today I have used 2 of those little bitty paper cups. I use that on purpose because it's different than this. You can see the bottom here. I will show you. It's one of these little plastic bowls, but I figured most people can probably get their hands on paper cups. So I wanted to show you a different shape today other than this, but I did want to tell you how I got this shape. So this is it. Now I did not show you the putting this together. So I will tell you, yes, it's gonna flop around on you until you get it steady for yourself. That is part of the process. I hate the videos that make it look like it's all perfect and it's starting perfectly. It's not. It's gonna flop around on you, and that's okay. So you're gonna blow up your balloon to whatever size you want it to be. I tried to do it a little smaller, but I don't think I did so much smaller. So blow up your balloon, and then after you find your, whatever's gonna be your spout and your stand, go ahead and tape these together. And I'm serious when I say to you, when you start trying to put this together, that's the hardest part to me. It's just getting it balanced enough to stand and to stay freestanding, because that's the most difficult thing. All right, so after you do that, you create the shape you like. Oh, the other thing I want you to know is when you put these on, your spout and your stand, what you want to do is create a cross layer. You want to glue it so that it's glued to the balloon first, and that gets you steady. And then once you have that, then go ahead and do yourself the favor. I had to do this in the middle because I didn't start off doing that. And then go back and tape around the tape so that it stays glued to the cup. And that's all going to become a part of it anyway, so don't even worry about that. But do that on both sides, and that makes it more steady. All right? And at this point, we are ready to get started. So I would also tell you, keep for yourself a handy wet cloth. And like I said, I would start with cutting up your strips, and I do mean just cutting your strips of paper. I literally just cut the strips like this. And I will show you. And you just keep them beside you and ready to go, because I don't think you'll run out too quickly. Because you're gonna cut down some of these and then stick them in the water. But I already have my bowls. So just keep yourself some extra ones already handy, and we're gonna get started. So we have our shape, and now I would start, like I start all of my painting projects, with a damp sponge or a damp brush, whatever. I think it's better. And I'm just gonna paint the little part where I want my first strips to go. All right. And parents, I'm gonna say to you, yes, this could be a little messy, so yes, you might want to go ahead and put down a piece of paper, especially if you're doing it with littles, because this is the thing, you can do one as a family and everybody gets to be a part of it and gets to have a little bit of say, or everybody can do their own small project. And it can be messy. So I used a trash bag at first. That way you could just, dump it all when you're done. So do a little bit at a time and don't rush it. And let me show you. I'm just gonna dig out one of those, scratch out some of the water, and I'm gonna tear this. And what I wanna do is start securing the pieces from the cup to the balloon together so you get your space. And yes, you are gonna get gluey. That's what the rag is for. Gonna get a little sticky, and you just make it stick. So after you put that on there, go over it again. That way, next time when you go over it with more, it's not as likely to move. So I'm gonna keep going around here, and you see how like it's gonna move on you a bunch until it gets really steady and used to you having some on there. Now, for smoothing's sake, do you see how easily that smooths out? Right now is when you want to be careful with your first layer. You want to be as careful as possible so that you can have as smooth a texture as possible. Now, you're not going to get all of it out. You can see on mine, it looks kind of like a bandage, and that's good. So you go around, and I'm gonna do this whole top for you because I'm gonna show you the layering that I do, because I want you to understand how to get the best desired position for layering, because you're gonna layer 3 layers. Now, here's the thing, for me, I did my 3 layers in a week, because unlike you, I couldn't just work on it all together in one day. But you could as kids. And you see how this is peeling? You don't have to wipe that off. You can just keep rubbing it down and it goes just fine. All those things. Okay. Just make it work with it. And then get your hands in there, and that secures it too. Okay, and you just keep kind of laying it over. I'm going to put a little dab of glue under that and show you. There we go. Just keep layering it up. All right, we're going to reach back in here. Scratch out some of the water. You don't want it to be so watery. You don't want it to fall over or keep falling towards you. So there's that. And then you can see how I'm tearing that as it gets there, because I want this edge to be crisp. I want there to be a delineation between the balloon and my spout. Okay, and then peel it back, put some more glue, and there you go. Now, if it gets a little bubbly, that's okay. You have 2 more layers that you can smooth out. It's fine, because little kids tend to want to go fast. I understand that. This is a process where you can help them to slow down and help them to be okay with slowing down. I know that's not probably what's going to happen, but that's okay. It'll still turn out good, I promise. And see, when I get there, I just break it a little bit so that it lays down better. And again, go ahead and stick your fingers in there. I don't know if you're like me as a kid and adult. I like big messes. I know some people don't, but this is fun for me. So just go ahead and put it all in there. Now, it looks like I got the round part. All right, so now what I want to do is since I have that, I'm gonna go ahead and just layer up some more glue, because my next feat is to get all the way to the spout, at the top of the spout. All right, so there. And so this time, I'm gonna go around to create. And this is still part of the first layer. This is just me laying it on to get the smoothness that I want. All right. We're gonna go all the way around a couple of times until we get up to the tippity top. Okay. We're getting there. And the water, I don't know if you're noticing, but if you do this with dry paper, it will drive you insane. The water in the paper just makes it lay down nicely and adhere to what you're going with. I'm not saying you can't do it, but if you don't want to be driven insane, don't do that. So, this is the best way I've ever seen to do it. And it's a little different because you've created your own shape. It's not like we're just decoupaging straight down to like a box. It's an already established surface. We actually have created our own surface to paint on, and so you want things to mold to it because we're also trying to make it sturdy. So you want everything to just be a little more molded than if it were already established shape. You see how that's going? Just rub it right in. We're almost to the top here. So every little part of the way, so look at, it looks like I am at the top. I'm gonna put in one little more piece and let you see how that looks. And I will do a little bit that gets you going in the big bubbly area, just so you have a good feel for the graduated part of the vase. And see those pieces sticking up? Don't worry about that. Once it dries, that layer, you can just cut them right off. Just let them dry just like that. It's not gonna hurt you. And if you want to, you can go ahead and put it down in the inside. I prefer to leave it up because later I spray painted my vase. I didn't want to have to deal with that in the inside. All right, so I'm gonna check around and make sure everything is laying the way I wanted to and smooth out my glue. So there, that is my spout. It looks pretty good. And so you have to, and you might have to do that. You might have to get something to prop it up on for a while. I had to do that with my first one. That doesn't mean you're failing. It just means it's a part of it. So I'm gonna now go around and show you just a little bit covering. So just get a feel for going back and forth with the way you lay the paper, because the more you do that, the sturdier it becomes. And you see how it still wants to fall because it's all wet and heavy right now. It's all right, that's part of it. Okay. You see how before I was going up and down, now I'm going around. Just kind of alternate that. And I know a lot of you probably have decoupage, and it's probably been more like the box thing. I don't know what age people start delving into this in school, if they even do anymore. But it might seem as though it's a older kid thing. I was decoupaging when I was very young, because of course I like the mess. But it's not hard, just time consuming. It's kind of a focused activity. And you get good results, so I could wade through it, you know? So the other thing I wanted to tell you about this, just in building your own vase, you think about this. If you can build a vase out of a balloon, guess what? You can make animals. You can use balloons, paper cups, and any number of other things to create shapes that represent animals. So this is not just the only thing you can use this for. I mean, if you want to create sculptures of kinds like we were thinking about doing things with creating like dolls, paper mache dolls. This is a good thing to incorporate for that. So there's many things you can think about what you would like to do. You don't have to necessarily create a vase. It's a good place to start because it teaches you the flow of decoupage and how it feels. And it's a pretty simple shape. I would do a simple shape before I just jumped on into an elephant or something. But all those things are doable with the same kind of a process. All right, we are nearing the end of my demo. So I just want to tell you guys, don't be afraid. And it is a little messy, but it's also very fun. And parents, the thing I would think that you would want to help out with is getting it steady and stable for them, and just making sure to have something they can prop it up with. What did I use? I used like a bowl to actually lay it over or in, depending on how it was leaning, because it has its own mind as you go through this process. It leans a certain way. Wherever the most weight you've put in it, that's the way it's gonna lean. And you see what I'm doing now? I'm just using my finger to get out those little bubbles before they even start. And you can scrush the paper over, lay it down. But there we go. We have graduated to around the vase. That's what I kind of wanted to show you, how you graduate and how you navigate the different parts of the vase. So it's going to be a lot the same on the bottom. All right, so you guys have fun making your vase, and I would love it if you guys would, I know you can actually come into the library, but if you do one, please bring it and show me at the library. So you guys can catch us on Facebook and YouTube, or at scottpublib.org. We will see you in the library. Have fun, guys.